Hi there, Taurus. Welcome to Eyes to See Tarot and your general freestyle for the upcoming weeks ahead. This is a general reading and not necessarily centered around love and relationships, but if it comes up in the spread, I'll be sure to let you know. Also, this being a collective reading, it might not necessarily resonate with all of you. So, take the messages that you resonate with and leave the rest for everybody else, yes? Can I have a card or two for Taurus's overall energy, please? Can I have a card or two for Taurus's overall energies? The Six of Wands. I'd say that you have some admirers. I say that you're kind of doing your own thing, kind of occupied on what you're doing, where you're going, how you're succeeding, step-ups, and it's a little bit tumultuous. It could be a little tumultuous, right? But it seems like you do have some admirers in the background that are watching how you proceed through this. So if it feels, like I said, yes, it's best not to get distracted right now. Doesn't matter who's watching you, really, who has an eye on you. But, you know, just stay the course because you are making waves. The Five of Swords, this is a defeat at all costs, too. Like, whatever you're going through, whatever you're surpassing, whatever you are surmounting, it is definitely one of those things that it's do or die kind of feeling. Like, you get up on top of the wave or you get sucked under, right? Bottom of the deck, I have the Page of Swords, right? In reverse. It's also a little bit obsessive, to be honest with you. I think that there's a possibility that you could be fine-tuning certain aspects and then kind of leaving out other aspects. It's a possibility. Because with the Page of Swords in reverse, it's telling me of not being completely on your game, but like overly scrutinizing, micromanaging even might be the word, right? And it's never a well-rounded kind of way to tackle anything. But with the Five of Swords here and the Six of Wands, I'm kind of getting the hint that at this time, best to get the hyena that's biting your ass than worry about the one stalking you from the bush. Just an idea. What are you? I have the Fool. It is the beginning of a new start. It is the beginning of the new journey, but you're like running to get on the train. Why? Why are you running to get on the train? Why are you even late for this train? Oh. Let's leave these out and then move. I got the Star. Card of Aquarius, card of Hope, card of authenticity, right? Muse even a little bit. I have a hope. I have a spark. I have an idea. I have an idea of where I'm going, what I'm doing. There's something to kind of expect here. But I think overly being focused on any one given aspect of this situation could be, I don't know, I'm not saying detrimental. I'm just saying that it's better to be and stay a well-rounded person. Like, make sure all your ducks in a row, not just the little one that keeps trying to escape. You don't want to put all your time, effort into that one escaped duckling, right? I want to keep my eye on all six. That's what I want. I have the King of Swords in reverse. There's a little bit of a negative thinking, right? It's almost given me the idea of protectiveness, needing to protect something, thought process. Now, I don't know if this is you or if it's the person that you're dealing with, but it seems like for the most part, I wouldn't venture to say negative thinking. I'd venture to say overly protective, pessimistic. Damn. That's the word. Pessimistic. A little bit more, possibly, on the person that Taurus is dealing with. A little bit more on the person that Taurus is dealing with, please. Okay, pessimistic, and they seem to be moving away from a thought pattern. So they could be moving away from the negative thought pattern. They could be moving away from something that they felt safe in and moving into a negative thought pattern. But either way, whichever way it fits, and this even could be you, I feel like there's a possibility that there's a chance that you don't necessarily see the positive impact or the positive change that you're creating in the world around you. And I think that was Spirit's main focus when I said that even though it looks chaotic right now, even though, you know, you've got a lot going on, or you may be overly emphasizing or obsessing about one certain aspect of everything that you have going on, you do have somebody, an admirer, that is watching you. Kind of put your thought process back in line. I think that no matter how chaotic it does seem at this time, it's important not to lose hope, as we see here with the Star card. It's important not to lose hope, because there are people that look up to you. There are people that admire you. There are people that are taking notes with what is going on with you and how you're traversing the terrain. Do I have anything more on this subject? I see that even though there seems to be some instability, right, as far as, I don't know, workflow. Maybe work is kind of slow this time of year for you. Maybe you're not getting the commission bonuses that you're used to getting or that you need to get. You know, maybe things are just a little wonky or unstable at this time. Maybe things are just changing around you because you're changing thought pattern. You're traversing whatever you're dealing with at this time, right? But you're doing so with confidence, right? What was that thought? It was such a fleeting thought, but it was like, it's not the cards in your hand, it's how you play them. And Taurus, I think that you have the confidence to actually boost past. You could have a horrible hand, but you seem to be, from what the cards are saying, you seem to be a very good poker player. And I think you are a shoo-in to win, honestly. The Emperor, you seem to have a plan. There's a plan here. There's a plan in place. Card of Aries. So there seems to be a strategic plan that you go by, like per letter, per book. And even though it hasn't often expressed itself on this scale, right, that there's still the possibility that you know it, you have a method, you have your step by step, so you know what you're doing. Right? Okay. Now can I see a little bit more about the person or situation that Taurus is dealing with? Sorry, I said Aries. Can you give me a little bit of insight on the person or situation that Taurus is dealing with? The Queen of Swords. She's bowing her head. She seems a little humble, right? Exhausted even. There's something that you've been going through that you no longer want to go through, right? So you're having to take inventory, having to, I don't know, sort through all the different clips of fabric right? To figure out what you're doing and where you're going, what goes, what stays. And I think discerning this truth, or discerning fact from fiction, or even discerning like pros and cons, right? I have the King of Cups. They're pretty large emotions, but it does seem like somebody is moving towards you, honestly. It seems like somebody's coming towards you. It may just be big emotions from what you have been through or what you've gone through. You understand? Now that I'm taking inventory, I'm trying to discern the truth. I'm trying to figure out what goes and what stays. I do have a lot of emotion built up behind where I invested my time in the past that I know was not getting me anywhere, wasn't doing me any favors, you know. Like I said, this is a defeat at all costs. If you're tired of your situation, Taurus, if you're tired of your situation, it is time to take accountability and start to move through things. And I know that's a little bit difficult for a Taurus when we just wanted the situation to work out the way the situation was supposed to work out. Right. Now, you know, I've given 100%, I've given 110%, I've given 120%, and now I'm just sitting back going, you know what? I'm good. I have the Eight of Cups in reverse. This is an interesting card because I think of revisiting those emotions are a very good key aspect as to what's going to be the reminder to keep you on the straight and narrow. Do you understand? Like, I don't want to be too far out there. I don't want to get too wrapped up into the leaving. I don't want to get too wrapped up into the leaving, but I do want to get wrapped up into self-preservation. I do want to get wrapped up into ascension. I do want to get wrapped up into excelling my state, right? And even if that does mean going back and then leaving something or creating some sort of space between me and that something, whatever it may be, right? Then I get to the point where I'm overwhelming. I'm humble. I'm a little forlorn, right? And it could be saddening. It could be a distraction, right? Maddening, even to some point. A little bit more about the person that Taurus is dealing with. A little more about the person that Taurus is dealing with, please. Very, very big emotions. Okay, so currently it looks like the Four of Wands in reverse. Things probably are a little shaky at the home front for them, or kind of in the air. But there again, there's their Six of Wands. They have the Six of Wands too. There is a decision that they're making, but it seems like their intuition is kind of not doing them any favors at this time. So they're having to lean on other ways to find this information or to dig up this information, because I think that they're trying to make a good, solid decision, right? But with this blocked intuition, and this going back, like I'm almost invariably living in the past somewhat, right? Let's go ahead and address this, because I'm not necessarily saying that you should go ahead and show them this video, or even to the point of try to help them or direct them through it, but I'm nosy and I want to see. So there's that. I do feel like it could be blocking their intuition. I feel like the instability of current situations You know, be it in their job, be it in their home life, be it just things are shaking up, things are changing, right? I think they could be holding too tight to something, but it's blocking the ability to discern the truth, right? Like they have the ability with the Queen of Swords and the King of Cups. They're emotionally intelligent. They're good at discerning the truth and understanding or comprehending, whether it be good or bad, right? But what they're having trouble with right now is there's this sympathy, serenity, something of that nature, right? I want to look a little bit deeper again into Taurus's person, or the person they could be dealing with. What's the Six of Cups? It's Four of Wands in reverse. Okay, another card of instability in the things that we want to find stability in. We want to find stability in work. I want to know that that paycheck is promised. We want to find peace and stability in our home life. I go home after work. I want it to be peaceful. I want it to be happy. I want it to be together. There's something about wishing it was how it used to be. Now, this could be you. This could be somebody that you've been dealing with. It could be a new person that is dealing with an old situation, a reminiscence, so to say. And at that time, Taurus, I got to tell you, be very cautious, because when somebody is wishing and waiting for how it used to be with somebody else, they already have an expectation of what box they want to fit you in. That means they have no real desire to know what box you actually fit in. I'm not trying to get to know you. I'm just praying that you fit the mold of what I once experienced as joy. New levels, new devils, baby. That's never going to be the way it works. And not to say that I'm necessarily offended by that, but it's a waste of time, honestly. I mean, I'd much rather, if it was a new situation, for them to come to you with even so much as a page, curiosity, communication, understanding, like a new freshness of thought. But if this is an older situation where they're wishing it would be back the way that it would be, the way that it was, but you're fighting to create something different. Taurus, now you do have a habit of this. It's not necessarily a people-pleasing type of habit, but it's just making sure everybody else is secure and safe around you, and then putting yourself last. You do have that habit, don't lie to me. Okay, so when you put yourself last for a certain amount of time, things and people around you learn how to treat you from that. And it looks like you might be getting tired of that. No, I do want to be first. I want to be first to me. I don't necessarily want to be first to you, but I definitely want to be first to me. And I don't want to have trained you to always put me last. That's not the way it is. You may be confused, but I'm fighting for that. I'm fighting for that ability to rise above just now. They seem to have a lot going on, and there's no doubt, right? Because, you know, if we had stayed focused on you for so very long, stayed focused on you, we were both focused on you. And now we're focused on me, or I'm focused on me. that leaves a lot in your hand, right? I remember, and this situation is kind of reminding me of my daughter, right? I started to let go when she was 16. She wasn't out of the house. I just stopped emotionally, like putting her on my shoulders. I let her stumble around in the safety and sanctity of our own home as she learned how to get her adult footing. When she had her adult footing, which took a couple of years, then I was able to release just a little bit more and let her have a little bit more, I guess you would call it autonomy, but just let her have a little bit more and a little bit more until finally, you know, at 21, she's doing it. She's paddling it. She's paddling that bike that I once held stable. Do you understand? So, oh, and then with the Ace of Cups in reverse, I feel like they have a lot going on, or they feel like they have a lot going on. It could also be like when you released or let go to take care of yourself, they were like, oh no, now I've got way more things to handle because Taurus is not here handling it for me, be it physically or emotionally or mentally. Taurus is not here handling it for me. You know, I wish it would to go back the way that it was. But Taurus, with this Five of Swords in the upright and the Six of Wands in the upright, I don't think that you plan on allowing it to get back the way that it used to, because that was unsustainable. It was not unrequited, so to say, but it just wasn't balanced, and it really wasn't fair, was it? So I sense that they might be having a little bit of insecurities, a little bit more on their plate, and maybe they don't even trust themselves. Like, if I was to go ahead and let go of me and worry about Taurus right now, then how bad would my life get? I mean, the Ace of Cups is here in reverse, so I'm not necessarily saying that's 100% what it is. It could even be like, I don't trust myself to give that. I don't feel like I have enough emotions or enough mental fortitude to go ahead and give that to Taurus, because I feel like I need it all myself. You understand? Because they had you to support them, and now they don't. It's kind of some sort of understanding, or some people would call it a reality check or coming to Jesus. I don't think that you necessarily mean anything negative towards this person. I don't even think that this is a separation of any type. I think that this is a part of your life where you finally get there and say, I'm worth it too. I'm worth what I put into everybody. I'm worth the amount of effort and love and support and dedication that I put into everybody, and I want it. I don't necessarily expect it from you, but I expect it from myself. So that's where we're going with this. It feels like, for the most part, and you know what, Taurus, I think that they really do want to work with you. I think that there's a possibility that they desire more than anything to work with you. It's just, I don't necessarily think that they're capable with that Two of Pentacles in the upright. I don't think that they're necessarily capable at this time until they've taken inventory, until they've figured out exactly where the dust settles. You know, things are kind of up in the air for them because they've had a change. You created a change, right? So don't underestimate exactly what kind of power you have over people when dealing with situations like that. Do be a little bit kind and compassionate if that is your situation. Because honestly, Taurus, I don't think that they are necessarily to fault for being comfortable in the way that you cared for them. I do think it's a little bit your fault for enabling or pampering, or doing that thing that you do where you do put yourself last and you do put other people first. That's all your fault. So whatever kind of stumbling, bumbling, or whatever kind of confusion that they're going through at this time, that's on you. It's really not on them, you know. But yes, do just keep doing what you're doing. But we're definitely not here crushing souls. We're just here trying to get our share. Not even necessarily the lion's share. But Taurus, it's time to get our share. Yeah? Okay. Let's see what else I have. Let's see what else I have for my Taurus, if anything. Can I have 3 cards to close for my Taurus? I see the Emperor and Empress in reverse. Now, here's a warning. Don't get too wrapped up into yourself. Don't get too self-centered. Don't get too selfish. Don't get too spoiled. Don't get too entitled. Because there's a possibility that you might traverse that little fine line on the other end of it and take it a little bit too far. Please don't do that. Anything else that you would like my Taurus to know to close? Can I have 2 more cards to close my Taurus reading, please? Yes, and meet them there, because being compassionate, being understanding, reminiscing about how it used to be is probably a pretty good guideline at this time. I don't think that this person abused you. I don't necessarily think that this person misused you or mistreated you. I think that there's a possibility that the balance should pretty much stop where it started. Like if, I'm not calling it love bombing, because a Taurus's dedication is long-standing. So I'm not calling it love bombing. You really did intend to keep up that momentum for the long haul. That is the momentum. That is where you reside. That is where you are. But when you started to get thirsty, when you started to get spiritually thirsty, mentally thirsty, passionately thirsty, physically thirsty, like when you started to do that and you realized that there was no end in sight, then you decided to turn around and take care of yourself, right? With dedication and devotion to that goal. But remembering how it used to be is a pretty good guideline, I think, because that was, if you were getting what you were giving, that would have been sustainable. And I give it because, not because I necessarily expect it, but I give it because I can give it, right? But if I'm giving it to you and I'm going hungry, then I'm going to give it to myself, because I don't like being hungry, you know? One more card to close for my Taurus, please. I have the Tower in reverse, the King of Pentacles in reverse, and the Eight of Swords in reverse. Yes. So I do necessarily see that there's an eye-opening situation that could have been detrimental, right? I am now opening my eyes to the process of their instability. I'm not taking it personally. I'm not holding it against them, but I have taken accountability for their instability, and thereby stopping the tower from falling, or starting to at least give them a dog in the race, for God's sake. Give them a dog in the race. Allow them to be where that is. You understand? If I have to flop around on the deck of your boat a couple of minutes because you pulled me out of where I thought I was stable, right? So you can bring me home and put me in a fish tank, then you can't be mad at me for flopping around on the deck of the boat, now can you? All right, Taurus, that is pretty much all I have for you. And the Knight of Cups do take a little bit. It's going to take a little bit of compassion. It is going to take a little bit of sincerity. If you enjoyed the read, please like, comment, subscribe. Do hit the bell if you want to be informed next time I upload. And until next time, Taurus, thanks for stopping at Eyes to See Tarot.